First of all, I'd just like to say thank you to the selection committee. This is a true honor. It was not expected. I did not expect this at all. When I got the call from Coach, I was actually on the field watching our guys go through their training in the afternoon, and I thought he was just giving me a call for something else or anything else, and I didn't know. And then I was like just taken back by it. Had to actually leave the workout, and it's just a true honor. I'd also like to say congratulations to the other inductees. Just listening to the stories and the lessons, my time here was so special. And when we talk about family, and you talk about, and I know I talk about it in my locker room right now, about leaving your legacy. When I come back to Laurier and I see this and I'm part of this, this is what I talk about. So congratulations. I'd also I can't be up here without thanking Coach Mitch, who was in my living room years and years and years ago, talking to my parents and myself about getting me to Laurier, and coming here and talking to me about the experiences that I would have here. And I had decided I wasn't going to go to Laurier. I was going to go out east. And then my grandmother came up to me and said, "I'm the oldest. Your mom doesn't really want you to go that far." But I remember that man coming in and talking about the great things at that university nearby. Why don't you think about doing that? And because of him coming and taking the time to have that conversation with my family and leaving that impression on them, I think it was one of the best decisions of my life and my football career to come to Laurier. So I wanted to say thank you to Coach Mitch. And also Coach Jeffries. I know everybody's been thanking him, and he was on the far end giving out those great speeches to the defense, and I was never a part of them, but got to hear about it from my roommates, and when they came back, and you could just feel that energy, and I know those speeches still go today. So I want to say thank you to Coach also for just being a part of that staff and that entire staff over my years here at Laurier. One, to keep me on track, because I almost flunked out my first year. I share that story all the time. But also making sure I am who I am, the man that you see before you, because of that staff and the lessons I learned from them. And I also take those lessons, so thank you, Coach Jeffries, to my players today. Also, you can go ahead, Coach Jeffries. Coach Daly was my wide receiver coach. He pushed me. He pushed me to be better. He pushed me every single day. When I wore the striped socks, I don't know if anybody remembers that, wore the striped socks in a game, talking to me about what that meant and the look and doing those things. You can be yourself, but you are still part of a team. And at times, and many times, having conversations with me and keeping me humble and keeping my feet on the ground. Those lessons that I learned those days from him, not only as a receiver, but as a man, I share today, not only with my athletes that I am fortunate enough to coach, but also with my children who are actually coming here this weekend for Red Blacks weekend. My daughter is trying out for Team Ontario U18, and my son, who is trying out for Team Ontario U16. I'm not the best receiver in the house. My daughter, who's 16, is probably the best receiver in the house. My son is a close second, and I am a distant third. But those lessons that I learned here from Coach Daly and the coaching staff, getting me ready, I pass on to my kids right now. And now they are the superstars in the house. And they just said, I heard somebody else say it, "Dad, you're just the old man that's slow." And that I am. But those lessons and everything that I did is from Laurier, is from living with the guys on Ezra, being in the football house, the house that still stands, that we still pass by when we pull the bus in. You know, sitting in that room, sitting downstairs, watching the TV, going upstairs on the floors that are still creaking, right? Those things made me who I am. I get to share those lessons. So the guys that are here, and like I think everybody has said before, those lessons that you're learning now, they may not resonate with you at this moment, but at some point you'll come back to those lessons and you'll share those lessons. Whether you're a CEO, whether you're a head coach, whether you're a principal, whatever you're doing. So take those. The hard work that coach is putting in you now, taking pride in wearing those colors. Continue to do that. Continue to keep the tradition going. Continue to keep your legacy going. Again, I want to say thank you to everyone here. Thank you to the committee. This is a true honor that I did not expect. And I'll say this once, I'll say it under my breath. I'll say it. But on Thanksgiving evening, because we got to play here at 7 o'clock at night, after a short week, I got to throw that out there, after a short week, after that big game they play in Ottawa, I won't say it then, but I'll say it now, go Hawks.